The Most High gave us this law for a reason. Giving all praise to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua B'Shem Kodash. The law that the Most High, the Heavenly Father gave, or Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua gave to Moses for the children of Israel, every law was necessary for this society, the Israelites. That's why we are known as a special people unto the Most High, above all nations that are upon the face of the earth. We are the chosen people of the Most High, and He gave us these laws. And these laws will be applied in the kingdom and will be practiced perfectly by the Israelites. That's the Israelite man, the Israelite woman, and the Israelite child. There's a big controversy with us, the men of GMS, and the law on in Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter, which you have Israelites that still bugged out over that particular law in Deuteronomy 22. But this is the Most High's law. The scriptures say you can't take away from the laws. That's in I'm not going to go to it, but somebody could put it. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me go to it. Bear me for a minute. I believe it's Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter or the 6th chapter. And I'm going to get to the importance of Deuteronomy 21 verse 18 in a minute. Yep, it's in Deuteronomy chapter 4. I'm going to start at the first verse. Now the heading is Israel urged to obey the Most High's law. Deuteronomy 4 verse 1. Now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them, that ye may live and go in and possess the land, which is the land of Canaan, which, by the way, it was ordered for us to go into the land among the Canaanites and kill every last one of the Canaanites that are alive and take their land. So that nonsense that vocab and others bring up about the Lord loves everybody and for God so loved the world, the Most High only loved the children of Israel. It says, and possess the land which Yahweh, the Most High of our fathers, giveth you. 2nd verse, ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, which means the law, the words of the law of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You neither shall not diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, your power, which I command you. Third verse, Deuteronomy 4 verse 3. Your eyes have seen what Yahweh did because of Baal-peor, for all the men that followed Baal-peor. The Lord thy power hath destroyed them from among you. Now going into that situation with Baal-peor, the deity worshipped at Peor with probable lascivious rites. Now that's the story. I'm not going to really go fully into it. You know what? Let me go into it a little bit since I'm here. So this video will be, I wanted to make it a short video, but it'll be a little bit longer. It says in Numbers 25 verse 1, and Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. And they called the people unto the sacrifice of their gods, and the people did eat and bow down to their gods. So these were Israelites that were laying with Moabite women, but they were worshiping those gods. So I remember years ago at One West, they used that to say you can't lay with other nations. But the sin behind that was they were having sex with these women in the name of their God. It says, and Israel joined himself unto Baal-peor, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel. Now, mind you, Moses' wife Zipporah was a Cushite. Now, the Most High didn't destroy Moses for dealing with a Cushite. But what these Israelites did in following Baal-peor was they were having sex in the name of the god of one of the gods of Moab. It says, fourth verse, Numbers 25 verse 4, and Yahweh said unto Moses, take all, or Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people and hang them up before the Lord against the sun, that the fierce anger of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai may be turned away from Israel. And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye every one his men that were joined unto Baal-peor. This, like I said, this was a sexual act in the name of this god, one of the gods of Moab. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brother Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand, and he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel. And those that died in the plague were 24,000. So it wasn't that an Israelite man just laid down with a woman of another nation. They were following after their gods. Let's go back to the second verse, Numbers 25, verse 2. And they called the people unto the sacrifices of their God, And the people did eat and bow down to their God. So they were falling in love with these women and following their gods. And the penalty for following another god is death. Thou shalt not have any other gods before you. That's why we call on his and his son's name, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. When you call on the Lord as another name, the Most High is angry with you because you're disrespecting his true name by calling another name. Like I use the reference of the IUIC calling on Jesus the Christ, which is not the Lord's name. So now let me go to the story. This was put up a couple hours ago. And I'll leave the link in the description box. It says NYPD Harlem man killed mom after she told him to get a job. And when you watch this story, like for example, if the ISUPK saw this story, they would say, well, these are Hamites. They were from Africa. They were probably either from Ghana or somewhere in Nigeria. And if you look at the individual, the son, you know, he was out there. He was out there in them streets. You know, he was out there running with Jake. Which by the way, they are Jake, but they happen to be his mother was born in either Ghana or somewhere in Nigeria, one of those West African coasts, which are Israelites. So he grew up as a Jake. You can see it in his eyes. You can see the way he's dressed. So his mother, he was 22 years old, and his mother cursed him out, you know, why don't you get a job? And he just, you know, put her to death. So the brother of the mother, the uncle, is saying no mercy for this guy. Well, now I'm pretty sure when he was 15, he didn't want to do nothing. When he was 13, when he was 18, he was out there in them streets, and he would come home, eat, go to sleep, play video games, whatever the case may be. So this is the law that should have been applied. Deuteronomy 21 verse 18, if a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him, they had beat him, will not hearken unto them, then shall his, and this goes on all throughout America among you Jake men of a certain age. I know personally there's guys that are 40 years old, 45 years old that still live with their mother, don't work, stay in the house. Hang out, you know, go home. I'm talking about guys that are 40, 45, 50 years old. It says 19 verse, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him. On the word lay hold is the same word. Let me look it up. The word lay hold is sapash. It's the same word in Deuteronomy 22nd chapter. And the word tapash means to take by force, loosely translated. It says his father and his mother shall lay hold, tapash, on him, and meaning take him against his will, and bring him out unto the elders of the city and unto the gate of his place. And they shall say unto the elders of his city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. Let's look at the word glutton. The Hebrew word is zalal. It means to be worthless, be vile, be insignificant, be light, to be worthless, be insignificant, to be light or squander, be lavish, be lavish, with, to shake, tremble, quake, to shake, quake. Now you have some precepts that go with this. Proverbs 23 verse 20. Be not among wine bibblers. Be not among one that drinks alcohol all day on the corner. Among riotous eaters of flesh. You know, when Jake, you have Jake in the hip hop world, what do? They're drinking the best liquors. They're out in the best restaurants. And that's what this is talking about. A glutton. It's not just about eating, it's living a lavish lifestyle. It goes on to say in the 21st verse, Proverbs 23 verse 21, for the drunkard and the glutton shall come to poverty. How many Jakes you know that have contracts in the NBA and they'll play for a certain amount of years and they'll retire with over $100 million, and inside of 2 years they're dead broke. They might be working, they might be sweeping floors in Wendy's. And they'll say, well, I made bad investments. No, you didn't make bad investments. You were a glutton. You lived a lavish lifestyle. Because deep down, you Jakes that making an NBA, boxers, certain Jakes in the hip hop world, they go from being multi-millionaires to go into an impoverished situation. Why? Because they're not disciplined. So don't give me that bullshit you made bad investments. You were living a lavish lifestyle. You were worth $100 million, and inside of anywhere from 6 months to 2 years, you're dead broke. Hell, if you lived on $1 million a year, you'd be able to live 100 years and still have millions. Now, this makes me think about, this is the importance of these laws, man. That's why the Most High, one of the laws that he gave was in Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter. And you guys have come up against what we're teaching in the scriptures, and we're breaking it down the right way. You let emotions rule you, man. And you're guilty of taking away from the word. Here's another good one. Proverbs 28 verse 7. Whoso keepeth the law is a wise son, but he that is a companion of riotous men shameth his father. Let me see what this says. Lamentation 1 verse 11. All her people sigh, they seek bread. They have given their pleasant things for meat to relieve the soul. See, O Yahweh, and consider, for I am become vile. And vile is the same word for glutton, riotous living, one who likes to drink and eat a lot of flesh, meaning meat. Let me read that again. Deuteronomy 21 verse 22. And they shall say unto the elders of the city, thus this our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. We don't got to look up the word drunkard. And all the men of the city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So that like the modern day stoning would be firing squad. Because what bullets are made out of what? They come from the ground. They come from stone. They're formed into bullets, projectiles. It says, so shalt thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. Twenty-second verse. And if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, example, breaking the Sabbath is a sin worthy of death. Committing adultery is a sin worthy of death. And so right now, one way or another, we've broken both of those laws. In this society, you can't keep the laws perfectly. You keep the laws to the best of your ability. What is that? Judges 5 and 11, rehearse the righteous acts in the land of drawing water. The Passovers that we keep, we're not really keeping the Passover perfectly according to the law. Like, for example, the lamb or the sheep or the goat, you would have to get a sheep, a lamb, a 1-year-old male without blemish. Now, how you know what type of lamb you're getting unless you have a farm? So that will be established in the kingdom. Then there will be a new high holy day celebrating which will overpass the Passover. You know, we get hyped for the Passover, right? So in the kingdom, we're going to be getting hyped for the celebration of the destruction of Babylon the Great. So we're going to remember Babylon the Great for eternity, because we're going to have a high holy day every year for the date that the destruction of this place, that the Most High brings this place down. So you're not going to forget about Babylon the Great. Your children are going to know. We're going to tell them about it. Twenty-second verse, Deuteronomy 21 verse 22. And if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he be put to death, and he hang on a tree, his body shall not remain all the night. And that's why when Yahushua was hung on the cross or the tree, they had to hurry up and take him down before the sun went down. Prepare the body. So, you know, like I said, this individual right here, he should have got taken out when he was like 12, 13 years old. Anyway, I'm going to say shalom.